Okay. And, I want to bring this up because Veronica, you're here. You were talking about the making the bed because of something that I have posted from somebody else's post on just a speaker, a motivational speaker, and he was talking about order. And I was just saying, yeah, I'm like that. To me, we all know what order means to each one of us. And I was saying how mine was my bed. If my bed is made in the morning, I feel like even if the whole house is a mess, my life is in order.
Organized. My bed's made.
My bed's made. Yes. And so Veronica was saying that God actually dealt with her, and because she wanted it perfect, just so, it had to be a certain way. So it was hilarious. The day that we're actually recording for that class, Keisha and I had been talking the night before, but then that morning I went and took a shower and didn't make my bed, and then took my shower, got dressed, and came back to make the bed. And then I stood by the bed and said, should I make the bed or not? You're not going to believe this because God is so funny. He is just sometimes hilarious. So all of a sudden, across from me on the other side of the bed, there is a dresser with a big mirror that is, leaning against the wall. Has been there since 2001 that we moved to that house. Well, probably 2002. I think we bought it the year after. And we've never moved it. It's been there all along. And it literally flipped in the air and fell in front of the bed. And I'm like, what? Right when I said, should I make the bed or not? Flipped.
Oh,
and wow. Like, I know. And then the door rang. So I had to go and see who was it ringing the bell.
Well, there's your no.
And I was like, okay, the bed is not going to be made today.
It didn't break the mirror?
No, it had a carpet. So it fell down and it didn't break it. But it was like, I couldn't lift it by myself. Pete had to come and did it, that night. So to me, it's kind of like, God speaks to us in so many ways. He'll shake you in the middle of the night, or he'll flip out a mirror. But the thing is, just trust him. Calm yourself down, breathe. There's other ones. This is the fear finger. This finger is the reason why babies suck their thumb, is because when you put your finger against the roof of your mouth, the suctioning and the pressing of this and the pressing of your roof calms the nervous part of your brain. So a nervous center. So you can do that. You can squeeze your finger.
And like the tongue thing?
And put the tongue. Actually, they say that models do that when they take pictures. They go like that.
It sucks your chin
up. And you look perfect. So
can we show them Jacob's ladder again and have it on recording? Because earlier, I think it was Alicia asked, she said, what was the Jacob's ladder that helped you? Okay. It's a hand technique.
So it's a hand technique. And what you're doing is you are using all the pressure points in your hand. And you are creating a pattern. Our brain works with patterns. I will show you what it is, but it doesn't work without actually setting up. You have to set up your script in your mind, because you tell your brain, this is the way you will function with this. And a lot of people do it just like that and said, oh, it did nothing.
Yeah.
Well, if your brain doesn't hear what it needs to hear, it's kind of like putting bumpers on a bowling alley, and you have to do it over and over and over to create the right movement and muscle memory. Then you get like a strike and you get like a good result. Then your brain says, ooh, I can do this. This worked. So I'm going to show you, but the truth is that just by showing you, unless we do the work with it, you may say, that didn't do a thing for me. That's one of the reasons why I don't like to just show it, but we'll show you.
Yeah.
So what we normally do is the Lord's Prayer. And the truth is that the Lord's Prayer was what the disciples asked Yeshua to teach them how to pray. And it's a mini Amidah. So it was a prayer that they already knew that was so much longer that he reduced it to a very concentrated, very short prayer, but it covers everything. So you can never go wrong with it. So even if you don't set up your brain to be able to, because what it does, it detaches the emotion from the event, and you're able to function better without having to deal with the emotion attached to it. So, so yes. So what we do is always right over left. I don't know that we need to do this.
Okay,
to tell
we're not
the
going to do
truth.
it.
We are going to record this and be able to give a good explanation and do it with the, because what's going to happen is you can't do this if you're pregnant. You can't do this with big emotions, because you're going to release
Chemicals
in your body. And if you're pregnant, you are harming the baby. And if you're not pregnant and you go to 5, I've had already people that had, this has happened. I was told, and then it happened to me in one of my practices. And I told them, do not use something big. And they did. And then they had horrendous migraine.
Like flu-like symptoms.
Yeah. So, so no, I'm not going to be.
We'll record it separately when
Yes.
it's like you could say it and I'll be like doing the motion, kind of like give you an example.
Yes, we'll record it and we'll show you.
But the other ones, the simple ones.
The simple one is the thumb, the breathing, especially like if you have children and you need to help them calm down. And it's really hard to tell your child, breathe with me. Come on, I do this, because they are hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that it's really good is they can lay down, and you can, if they have a teddy bear or something, a little toy or something that they can put on their belly, you tell them to breathe out. And so you're moving you're getting your belly all the way out. This is how singers sing, prepare for singing. And then you'll see the little toy coming up, and then
the bear goes down.
The bear goes down. So let's play with the bear. And the bear goes up, and let's bring the bear down. So you obviously teach this to a child when they're calm, not when they're upset. And then when they're upset, you said, hey, let's play with the bear. Come on. And then you both lay down in a bed and you both go with it, and you can put your hand in. Bring your hands up, bring your hands down. Bring them up, hold. Bring it down. Actually, if you do that too long, you will get so calm that you may feel like passing out.
Then you need to go
right.
really fast. Okay.
Yes.
Shake it off. I don't know. Actually, like asking the kid, like what you said earlier, asking a question to kind of like get your brain thing. It's like, do you have a favorite animal that you want to go find real quick? And it's like all of a sudden they went from being all mad at their sister to like, actually, yeah. And you're like,
and you want, that's really good. You want to change the scenery. You want to, if we were here upset, hold on a second, and you leave the room and you come back. That in itself, when you change the horizon in your eyes as part of EMDR, you will calm down.
Wait, what's MDR?
EMDR.
What is that?
It's a technique. It's a therapy.
Oh.
For those that know it, we're not going to get into that. But if you know what that is part of that. It is like
Google it.
it is the rapid eye movement. You need it's part of distracting your brain is basically what it is. So you look out, you look at a window, look somewhere, look at the street, just see a horizon, whether it is trees or houses or the road.
It makes me think of that scripture. I turn my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? It's like when he's all stressed and he turns his eyes to the hills, like.
Well, that has a spiritual connotation because everything in the hills has to do with God.
Right.
But also, this is really neat. If you are like in pain And I do translations for people that are going into surgery. And one of the first things we all do, and I have to coach them through it because that's what they will immediately do, is they look down, they hold their breath, and they just think that by holding, all of a sudden the pain is going to go away. It's actually the contrary. Your pain increases when you do that. You know how your pain decreases is looking up to the light. Makes sense, right? Look up to the light and take a deep breath. So as soon as they're going to take the blood or something, or put the IV, and they're
relax.
like, yeah, it's like, okay, look up, look up, look up. And they start looking, okay, breathe with me. Deep breath. Okay, slowly.
You know that I naturally, anytime I have to get blood drawn, I naturally just like brace for it, look up. I purposely look away, you know, but it's like always up.
Yeah, and breathe, because the first thing that they'll do is like hold their breath, even if they're looking up.
And you know what's really cool? Actually, this just came to me. Like is it a tetragram of his name? Yod-Hey, yeah. I can never say it.
Grammaton. Tetra is 4. Grammaton is words.
Yes.
4 words.
Yod-Hey, Vav-Hey, or however.
Yeah.
But they say, you know, we add the vowels to it, but when it's standing on its own, it is a breath, which is connected to the ruach, which is, and then it's like, so just breathing and looking to the light, looking up. Oh my gosh, that is just, it's so deep. That's so awesome.
Yeah, you can preach, huh?
Yes. Like, even if you can't say anything at all, just breathe and you know it's his name.
Right. Yeah, his breath. Really, what separates us from an animal is that we became a speaking being when his breath came into Adam. And animals breathe just like us, but they're not a speaking being. So yes, breathing and exhaling and looking up.
Yeah.
Where help comes from. So one of the things that, so we're entering day 2, right? So on day 1 was all about the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God in the way we eat, the wisdom of God in the way we sleep, the wisdom of God in the way we move, exercise, everything, even from the moment that there was chaos in the earth, the Spirit of God hover over the waters. So we know that movement is important. So that those 3 things we did for our body was following the wisdom of God in that. Now we're building an understanding. I was listening today. I do the Bible in a year, and we are in Leviticus 18, and he is talking about all the different sacrifices to save our soul. None of the sacrifices were there to save our body, and we're never there to save our spirit. Our body's going back to the ground, he says, where it came from. The spirit is going back to God, where it came from. But the soul, that's what we're dealing with right now, is what needs to be saved.
The will, the mind, and the emotions.
And the emotions. Those are the parts. So we're dealing with safety. So that means that in this second day, when he separated upper waters from lower waters, we have the upper waters, our heavenly waters, lower waters are earthly waters, and in between those two is the air, where he created the sky, where he on day 3 is going to bring fruits, trees, vegetation, the first life form in the earth in the 7 days of creation. So think about it, that separation, you are thinking. So like if you feel like you're out of control, you feel so bad, and you feel like, oh, I can't handle this, I'm so mad. When you get to that point, you're not thinking. So
you're not bearing fruit.
Yes, and everybody's on fruit.
We are not on day 3.
No,
we are on day 2.
Yes. So then what happens is you want to start separating. Why am I so mad? Ask yourself those questions. Well, because this happened. Okay. Is that earthly? Is that heavenly? Where is heaven in that earth? So start separating, because we built on day 3 with the elements that we use on day 2.
Mhm.
So that safety has to be, so, well, I'm just so upset because, she's my best friend and she just betrayed me. Well, okay, that probably could be true, but it may not. So there are 5 questions that I would like to ask you. Dr. Amen, I didn't come up with them. Dr. Amen did. But he says, ask yourself that, because that way you separate. You want to separate those waters, and you want to come up with what do I need to do? How do I get out of this fear? I feel betrayed. She just stabbed me. She just backstabbed me, and I feel horrible. And I don't know how I'm going to ever look at you again. And so it's like, okay, did she really stab you?
So wait, this is the question. Like,
First question, is it true?
Okay.
So the question, so I just said she backstabbed me, right?
So
She
did
said
she
something.
really?
So did she really do that?
Is it really true?
Well, yes, it is true. She said this about me. Okay. Second question. Is it 100% true? Well, no, she is my best friend and she's usually really good with me. And no, she doesn't always backstab me. Otherwise, she wouldn't be my best friend, right? So no, not always. Okay. How do you feel? Third question. How do you feel thinking that she backstabbed you? Oh, horrible, horrible. I thought she was going to be my best friend forever. And now I can't trust her. And okay. And I feel I want to hurt her too. And it's like, so it's like, okay, now it is important. It's important that you are real with your emotions. Bring them out, take them out. Okay, so what else?
Wait, what's the next question?
Before you go to 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you drain all of that.
Drain your
all of that toxicity. And what would happen if you don't talk to her anymore? Well, I will never see her again. Okay, and you will never see her again. And then what else? So
just get all of it done.
Get it all out. Well, she will not even exist on my list. Never know that she. Okay, perfect. Now, 4th question: how would you feel if that was not the case? That she didn't backstab you? Oh, I will feel great because I love being with her. She's my best friend. Yeah, we love having time. And then all of a sudden I start thinking, I become historical all the time.
Executive brain.
Yeah, all the times. Oh, there was that time that I was so sick. Oh, the only one that came and literally fed me. I couldn't even get up from my bed. She took me and gave me a shower because I had been in bed for 3 days with a fever, and cleaned my house. She was amazing. So you start thinking of all that. All of a sudden, this whole I'm going to kill her, I'm going to hurt her. It's like, well, she probably didn't mean what she said. If you're going to realize that you just went out to, out in the woods with your thoughts when you are not even 100% sure that she actually said that.
What's the 5th one?
And then that being the case, because now I'm calmer, I can think, right? So the 5th one is, how do I reconceptualize that? Well, I guess I need to ask her if she really said it, because, she didn't really said it to me. Somebody else told me that she said it, but I don't really know if she did. I just believe what this person said. So
deal with it.
Did you really said that? No, I would never said that. And we would have fixed the problem. So now let's say that she did say it and this is horrible and all that. Then what do? You still do all that and you go to that 5th question and then you say, you know what? She did the best she could. And yeah, she failed me. But you know what? We're all human and I'm going to forgive her. And the truth is, the Bible says, trust no man, trust only God. So I am so upset because I made her into a God that she's not.
Right.
And she can fail because she's human. So
This is all hypothetical.
I know, yes, please. I'm acting actually as a teenager
She's a
here, as
great
you can
mother.
tell me. As you can tell, my example is very out there. And I'm doing it on purpose. I wanted to make it really
Practical.
obvious that it is an extreme example.
Well, but for me, I use that with, like with the whole Rhea thing. It's like, okay, is it 100% true that she's going to have a seizure
Mhm.
this time?
Right.
No.
exactly.
Okay, then this needs to stop because
Mhm.
I don't even need to go any further. If the answer's clear no, like, then let it go
Right.
right there.
Yeah, you don't have to relive what
I'm
happened the
safe.
first
So
time.
then that's where I tell myself the truth. Well, what is the truth then?
Mhm.
Okay, well, the truth is I'm equipped with lots of tools to help her.
Mhm.
I've got Simi to call.
No, don't think that you can call me.
But,
Because God is so funny about that too.
Yeah.
Something would happen to me, and my first thing is I'm gonna call my husband, and he doesn't answer the phone. Then I'm gonna call my best friend. She doesn't answer the phone. Then I'm gonna call, I don't know, my pastor.
there's
and
so many
he doesn't
times.
answer, and it's like, nobody's answering me. And he's like, I'm here.
Oh, no, there's been so many times that I'd like want to call her. But I know I'm not supposed to because I'm like, hey, you've been trained in this area. You got to let the muscle break to be strong, right? It's like, tell her, you can call her and tell her the victory after. It's like, oh, guess what? Like, oh, it was a horrible weekend, but we did great. Like,
Yes, and there are times that she can tell you herself. I can call her too.
yeah.
It goes both ways. And it's like, okay, I am stuck here and I can't see beyond this. And then
we didn't even get to
we help each other.
Because it's 2:53. Do we want to kind of if anybody has anything they want to talk about?
Yes, we did. We did the will of God.
I'm talking about the Musar.
Oh, yeah, and there is there's other applications like there's Musar practice, which Keisha is going to be doing soon.
These are what we mean by this is just like other practical tools to help keep you in not only safe place, but also in the will of the Father is listening to his voice and developing the practice like Musar of disciplining,
because we are supposed to be like Messiah, right? And Messiah is right in the middle. He's perfect. He's not in this end extreme, and he's not on the other end extreme. He's right in the middle. And in all the different fruits and all the different traits that you can go through Musar, or even the fruit of the Spirit that you can find in Galatians 22, is that we may, in love, we may not be balanced. In the middle, I mean balance. I may be way out here, lovey-dovey, so mushy that nobody even believes me.
You're in the clouds.
Yeah. And then, or I can be so dry that I never even tell anybody around me that they're loved because I'm so dry that them. So we want to be right there in the middle. So that's a good way to practice. And she's doing that. I have one that I started on band that she's doing with me too. So there are ways that you can find. You can buy the books and do it on your own. Actually, when she told me about the book, I did it on my own. I didn't do it with her. And so it's there are all kinds of ways that you can develop. And the importance is continue to grow. Don't think that you know it all and then you have arrived, because none of us have. And the day that we do, you won't see me. The day that I'm complete, he says, he who started the good work in me, he will complete it. And the day he completes me, that will be the day that I see my Messiah face to face, and you won't see me unless you're there with me. So just continue to grow. Don't get stagnant.
This was the scripture that I wanted to read earlier because I was like, I know I'm supposed to look up scripture. So this is from Ephesians 5. Simi has no clue what I'm about to read. It says, yes, for once You were darkness, but now in union with the Lord, you are light. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of light is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, trying to learn what is pleasing to the Lord. Take no part in the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. For it is disgraceful even to mention the things that are done by them in secret. Yet everything is exposed by the light is being made visible. Yet everything exposed by the light is being made visible. For everything made visible is light. And so the reason that I even wanted to share that, and at the beginning of Ephesians 5, it says, therefore, be imitators of God as dearly loved children, and walk in love, just as Messiah also loved us and gave himself up for us as an offering and sacrifice to our God for a fragrant aroma. And it made me even think too about that, what you said about our soul. That's what the offerings were for. And this is the part of ourselves that needs that discipline, because that's the part of us that this vessel is being driven by these emotions, right? This will, this whole safety piece, which will also go into the other parts of it. But it's like the iron sharpening iron part of this, the discipline, the walking in light, it's all involved. I mean, it's so much inside where our will, our emotions, and our minds are seated. And what he wants is that to be refined. And all the things that we go through are what refine that part of us.
And there is another one, now that you're in Ephesians, that I love. It's in Ephesians 3. He starts talking about, for this reason, I bow my knees before the Father.
I love this.
From whom every family in heaven and on earth receives its name. I pray that from his glorious riches, he would grant you to be strengthened in your inner being, that's your soul, with power through his Ruach, so that Messiah may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may have strength to grasp in with all the Kiddushim, with all the saints. What is the width, the length, the height, and depth, and to know the love of Messiah, which surpasses knowledge, so that you may be filled up with all the fullness of God. But I want you to pay attention that you will be strengthened to grasp his with love. All of us. We're not going here alone. Community. Don't think it is community. Don't think that, well, I don't care if the rest do it or not. I'm just me and my Bible and me, and I'm going to be able to do this. And, I'm fine. And because it's not. We need each other. We need to be all. It says very clearly that we will attain to that with all the saints. What is the width, the depth, the height, and the length? And if you think about it, the height is our relationship with him. The width is our relationship with each other. The depth is how much you know yourself. And the length is the walk that we do together. We are sojourning back home.
Wow.
So
that was good.
We are.
It gives me chills.
And before I forget, next month, I'm going to be on a retreat for that next Wednesday, and she will be going the following.
I'll be at the beach.
You will be at the beach that same week, so that we are going to record the second one that is on attachment.
Which, stop the recording real quick.
Oh yes.
Sorry, please.
So that we